Okay, welcome to part two of my new abortion rules video. And I didn't really do a good job dividing the slides up because I had one more thing on this slide, and it's kind of important, and I forgot to add it. So I added it, but I didn't hit the button. So after all this, before we get into the next slide on the process somebody would go through to get an abortion, that's what it is, like a flow chart. Yes, no questions, that kind of thing, to either yes, get an abortion or not get an abortion. And right before we start that, we need to have one universal rule, and here's the rule. I might need to move my picture out of the way here. There we go. Okay, abortions should not be allowed past the 8th week. This would cover the missed menstrual cycle and not be too far off from the beginning of the baby's heartbeat, which is indisputable proof of individual life. So I consider the heartbeat life. A woman has a period around 4 weeks, she misses it after or on the 8th week. If she still doesn't have it, I would think she would understand that she missed 2 periods. Okay, so I would say basically at the 8th week, after that, you either wanted it or negligent and just didn't address it. I don't know, but after that, I don't think abortion should be legal. Before the 8th week, it depends. I'll give you that. It depends, and only because I think in a secular democratic republic we have to have some kind of compromise, and that's why I'm doing it. My personal beliefs: no abortion for any reason, but I have to admit that might, as a collective society in a democratic republic society, we need to have certain exceptions, and I have to live with that. So again, this would be except proven no fault cases and legitimate life or death issues, which we're going to get into in the flow chart. But there are certain situations where abortion could be, I would say, legal. So let's take a look. Let me move my picture back over here. Okay. So let's look at my chart here. I know, again, it's not really colorful, but it's pretty easy. There's a flow chart key to the right. Let's go through step by step. First one is an abortion is requested. That means a person starts the process. They want to get an abortion, either through a clinic or whatever it might be. Then you have some choices to make. First one comes up is first abortion. First abortion is a compromise to acknowledge lack of knowledge that led to pregnancy. There might be a lot of conditions where a person got pregnant and just things she didn't know, ignorance, all kinds of different situations that might have arisen from it. So we have to have that as a decision. If it is their first abortion, okay, or first possible abortion, it comes to this block here, married. Now, married to me is an adult decision by two individuals to consent to want to stay together and form a life together. If they want to form a life together, there's a possibility of a family. They are both adults. They are mature. They can make decisions, all of that. So in my opinion, if they are married, married qualifier acknowledges the knowledge of the sexual act. Married is qualified by state standard. So if a state says you can be married and you decide to get married, fine. So if you are married, if you're not married and it's your first abortion, I would say yes, they should be granted it, no more than 8 weeks. Okay, no more than 8 weeks, so they should be granted. I know a lot of people aren't going to like that, or pro-lifers, but I'm a pro-lifer too, but these are one of those concessions. Sorry, I need my coffee. All right, and if they are married, then it goes down to another decision we'll talk about in a second. But let's say it's not their first abortion. Okay, say something happened before and now they're back again. Well, if it's not their first abortion, are they 12 years old or younger? Okay, age cutoff of 12 and under acknowledges that there might be an issue of knowledge, such as mentally challenged and such. Now, when I say 12 years old or younger, I'm talking about mentally and physically 12 and under, or let's say mentally and or physically. So if mentally they're proven that they're not 12 years of age, then I would consider them less than 12 years of age. And a lot of situations would have got that person pregnant, which you don't have to get into all the detail, but if they're not 12 years old, or if they're not 13 years old, and they're in this situation, I would say you would need to grant that abortion as long as it's not over 8 weeks. Now, I don't have this written down here, but another exception to this could be if they were in a situation by a parent that wasn't taking care of them, or they didn't have access to go find out they were pregnant, then that would be a legal exception. Okay, but I don't know how to write that in here. So that would have to be evaluated by, let's say, a lawyer and a doctor. Okay, or whatever, somebody beyond my level of expertise. So I obviously understand this might be tweaked a little bit in a lot of different places. It's a starting point. That's all I'm looking at. Okay, so it's not their first abortion. They're older than 13 years old or older. Okay, so they would come down here. This is an easy one, incest or rape. Incest or rape acknowledges the mental stress that may result from a pregnancy produced from such an act. Okay, I'm not going to get into my beliefs so much. My opinion, if incest or rape and they get pregnant, they should have the baby, but I know there's a lot of things around that, okay? It's a compromise. It's a compromise based on our secular society. I have to acknowledge that and put that in there because it is such a hot topic, and I totally understand, or try to understand, the mental anguish that that person would be under. It could destroy them for the rest of their lives, and then the child actually might be in, I don't want to say worse off than death, but it could be really bad. I'm not comfortable with it, but I have to say that it probably should be in there based on this country, the United States of America, and the way we look at rights and stuff. We might have to leave that in there until sometime later when something else can be resolved. I don't know. So if it was incest or rape, boom, grant the abortion. Okay? Again, as long as it fits 8 weeks or less. If it's over 8 weeks, then there's something else involved, and they should just have the baby and then give it up, obviously. So the 8-week thing still holds here. Let's say it wasn't incest or rape. You come down here to medical risk to mother or fetus. This also comes down from the first abortion. If they're married and they still want to get an abortion, there must be a reason for it. And the only way they could get one, in my opinion, would be medical risk to mother or fetus. If there is a medical risk that a doctor, let me read this for you. Medical risk gives a choice for an abortion solely to the mother if a doctor diagnoses such a condition. The doctor says there is a very good chance that you could die, the mother could die during this process of childbearing, from pregnancy to delivery. There's a chance the mother could die for a lot of different reasons. They could die, or the child could die, okay, which might cause complications, whatever. Let's say that could happen. My opinion, the mother is the only person that has the right to make that decision. If you're being told that you're going to die or your child's going to die, make a decision, I think the mother should be the only one to make that decision. Not the doctor, not a lawyer, not the woman's parents, not the husband, boyfriend. So, in my opinion, the mother would have to be given that decision. If they say you're going to die if this baby is born, they should have a right to that decision. I don't like it. That's an even harder moral issue to go around, but I would just say leave it to the mother. You have to let the mother make that decision. That one is one of the only ones that doesn't follow the 8-week rule because things change over a pregnancy. Sorry, I keep looking out the window. Sorry. So I believe that one, all the way up until birth, and it might start some loopholes, but I think you have to have that as, if the doctor comes up to the woman and says this baby's going to kill you if it's born, that mother would have the right to terminate that baby if they want to. It's not great, but I think that has to be there. So if it's a medical risk, yes, they grant the abortion. If not, then the abortion is denied. So most cases, the abortion would be denied. It would get through this flowchart process. And I think that it's not a bad one. I think it's something that as a country we could all get behind, except for the people that just want to use abortion for, birth control. I can't fight that argument except to say that it's wrong. So if you look at this, hopefully, I'd be interested in what people's comments are, and except for the comments of just a woman has a choice. That's it. Okay, I don't want to hear that because I already heard that. Or if you don't believe that it's a life, well, I already gave you the definition of life, so that's indisputable or undisputable. I have a problem with that word. So take a look at this, and I'd be any intelligent conversation I'm fine with, no name calling or anything. I'm just trying to, I'm thinking this might be a good compromise, except for the people that want to use it as birth control. There's a lot of money involved with abortions. And I know there's a lot of videos out there. Abby Johnson's a real famous one. I looked at a lot of her videos. All this information about how much money goes through. Prager University actually did one or two as well. But there's a lot of money that goes through this process. And people don't totally understand either the amount of many abortions that actually happen. I should have made another slide and told you the numbers, but I'll just say them. As of 2017, which was over a year ago, um, there were basically 881,000 abortions performed in the United States. Taking that with the number of live births of 4 million, number of live births of 3,853,472, combining those to give you 4,734,472, minus unreported, abortions that happen in the first, few weeks, just happen naturally. Other situations where the data isn't calculated, you're looking at 18.6% of all pregnancies, roughly 18.6%. Let's drop it a percentage. 17.6%. Let's say over 17% of all pregnancies are aborted in this country. Not cool. So I teach in a classroom. I'm a technology guy, and I do classes and I support in a school. And you take a class of 22 kids. That's 4 kids out of the class that were aborted. That's a lot. So I just wanted to put that in there. I totally understand the feelings on both sides, and however, in the end, I'm still saying that, okay, the worst case you're looking at without complications is like 9.5 months of inconvenience for your body for a life. So, and most likely it's something that you did to start that life. So that's my feelings on the subject. So, hey, interesting comments. Thanks for watching.